Hey everyone, it's Mark with Mark's Virtual Real Estate Channel. We are back with another video on Upland, a virtual real estate metaverse area. Yesterday I asked about where I should build my next structure in Upland with different nodes and contests going on for building. And I'm going to make that decision today in this video. And then talk a little bit about the Detroit release as well. It was released last week. Collections should be announced, I believe, tomorrow. And show you how my progress has been going there too. And of course, we like to like, share, seeing new subscribers, keep those coming, and comments as well. And then my real estate channel, Mark Ferguson Invest for More, has tons of information on flipping, buying rentals, buying businesses in real life. So we've got some cool stuff going on that channel if you haven't seen that before. All right, so I am in LA right now. And if I actually go to my video here, this is my YouTube studio, I can show you all the comments I got for where I should build my next property. I've built 3 so far, and in Upland you can buy lots that are like the real lots in real life in certain areas. You can build structures, townhouses, ranches, mansions, apartment buildings, but right now there's still no actual benefit to building them. Well, it increases the value of the property, but there's no rent or yield coming in on them, but eventually they should have some kind of use and utilization in the game. So, DJ Shorts, which is a very popular Uplander, very big part of the community. It's about Sunset in San Francisco. And I was thinking about there, but I think he's the only one who mentioned Sunset. Someone mentioned build an 8 Mile or one of my LA collections. Morningside Park in LA, that is one where I own a few properties. So, and then some people said Studio City, Marble Hill. Another one for Sunset. Sorry, there are 2 votes for Sunset. And then, mansions in Northumberland in Nashville. Another one in Northumberland. Mansions take a really long time. We'll kind of show you that. So don't know if I want to build a mansion. Portage Park is in Chicago. Century City node. And I did not know there was a Century City node. So that's why I like doing these videos, because I learn just as much as anybody else does when I do my videos. Another vote for Century City. The canals in Venice. I also forgot that they're doing one in Venice. I own properties there too, but nothing on the canals. A mansion in Bel Air, that would be very expensive. Century City. So the most votes were for Century City, and that was something I was not expecting. So if we look at LA, and no one said Lazy J Ranch. Lazy J Ranch is one up here where I own properties. 2, we showed this before, but lots of building going on here with ranch houses. I own that property. And you can see here, lots of building going on. And then San Francisco, there's some, but the Century City one I had not heard of yet. So Century City is right where, there it is, right there. You can see I have one in Westwood. And I was just going to check out. I have not looked at any of this yet. Yep, look at that. There's quite, ooh, look at that. There's lots of building going on in Century City. So that's interesting. So the people have voted. And so I don't own any property in Century City. As someone said, it's a very small, exclusive neighborhood, as you can see, compared to if we zoom out here. You know, relatively small compared to all the other neighborhoods, which are quite a bit bigger. So what I'm going to do is go to my Upland Optimizer. I've been using this site more than the other UpXland. Someone said I need to clear my cache to make that work better, and I just haven't done that yet. So let's look at Century City and see what's for. Ooh, it's kind of expensive. And it's not a collection, but they're high mints. Look at that. They are high mint prices. That's one thing with LA is you can buy. Is that one finished? Wow. Okay. Over here it will tell you if there's buildings built on it too, which is kind of cool. So Beverly South, mint is high. We can search by markup too. Let's see if there's any. That same one, lowest markup. I think we're gonna have. It's expensive, but I kind of told people that's what I do, so it's not like really, really, really expensive, but it's still pretty expensive. So, what am I doing here? Where was that address? 2360 South Beverly Glen. So we'll just see if we can pull it up real easy here. Of course, it doesn't show up. So it won't be for sale. It'll be a... Oh, there it is. The company owns it. Double check. The company. It's in that neighborhood, right? Century City. Always have to double check these things. Sometimes I bought properties in the wrong spot or thinking there's something special when they weren't. So I've made errors before, that's for sure. Okay, well, it's right on the edge. It's still in Century City. I didn't even know this node was going on. Look at all these buildings. They're all over. Okay. So, here we go. So we will start our building here. And I'm not going to do it right this second because last time I started building while doing a video, I feel like it was slightly off-centered. I may have been distracted. So I will do that a little bit later. And I'll just show you real quick. Oh, if it'll let me. Okay, it won't let me do anything. The difference between building a townhouse and other buildings. Oh, it's for okay. All right. So 950 hours. I'll get up my calculator again. Basically, it takes 950 hours to build a small townhouse. So 950 divided by 24. Basically, 39 days. We have one spark, and I think of 1.37 spark. So it'll take me like what 30 days, somewhere in that range. Probably less than 30 days. But you go to a ranch house, it's a little bit longer. A big townhouse, more 3 times as long. An apartment building, you're looking at like what 6 times as long. A luxury ranch house, you're looking at 3 times as long. Luxury modern house, 3 times as long. So is that what they're talking about with a mansion? That must be the mansion. Okay. That's actually not as long as I thought it would be. So if we do, let me see here, 3,000 divided by 24 hours in a day, that'd take you 125 days. I have 1.37 spark, so it'll probably take me like 90 to 100 days, rough math, to build a luxury modern house. But it'd take me a lot less to build a small house. So we'll probably still build a townhouse, but again, I'll figure that out later. Talking about Detroit, you can see my UPEX was up a lot more. And then my net worth is up. It was up a lot more. So add 100 and some thousand to that because I don't think it's minted the property I just bought yet. I was up over 7.3 some million. I started about 7.1 after Detroit. And what helped me there was this property. Someone traded me for my Woodward Avenue for a property in Bel Air. And so Bel Air properties are very expensive in a collection, super high mint properties. And the person who traded for me bought it for 185. So that's why it counted for 185 against my net worth. The Woodward property I bought for 30 some thousand. So I've traded for a property in Bel Air on Mulholland Drive. And was there any other special trades I made? Oh, I traded for one in Manhattan recently, but that wasn't from Detroit. So Detroit has been going okay, nothing too crazy. We are down to 2 Woodward properties in Brush Park here, the theater I still have, and then one right next to it. And the same person has been trading me for all of these. And they keep trying to trade me for that one too, but they haven't been good enough trades yet. One in Manhattan Beach in Brooklyn, one in Venice. They just weren't, the value wasn't there for me. All right, and then we have been selling some more of these. So we've got the Grashute. I'm just going to call it G-Road. People keep telling me how to pronounce it. And I feel like I even get different pronunciations from them. So it's G-Road from now on. Someone tried to trade for my market for a property on Michigan, but that's a huge market. And the Michigan properties I could buy for much cheaper even than I minted this for, so that wasn't a good deal for me. These are still for sale here, the named properties, and we've sold a few other ones, probably 3 or 4 of the other ones, for a pretty good markup. Nothing crazy, but pretty good. Someone was offering in my liquor store, but it wasn't quite high enough for me. So we'll still keep trying to sell some of those. The 8 Mile property has not sold. I have it for sale. I think it still hurts that if we go to Detroit and we click on 8 Mile, oh, I'm on markup. I'm like, well, this isn't right. Something's wrong here. There we go. This one on Regent Park still shows up as for sale, and that has not been for sale for days. It's kind of like an error. I don't know why it shows up. So when that happens, I feel like it almost hurts the whole neighborhood, because people will come on here and say, oh, the floor is $45,000. Even though this property isn't for sale, you can't buy it. And that's really hard for the floor to rise much above that if people think they can buy for that. So I think that's kind of hurting it. Although I did see a few properties below 45, and now things are going back up. Mine for sale is right there at 79. I think I bought it for 59. But that's a little frustrating, I'm sure, for people on 8 Mile, because that one is stuck there. And then just looking at some of the other roads that might be special. Oh, those prices are dropping a little bit. When I first was trying to buy in Woodward or looking at stuff on Woodward, it was more than 80 was about the cheapest one I saw. So that floor seems to be dropping some in the... Oh, that is not how you spell. I'm going to blame my keyboard. Michigan, oh, see that? Down to 55 for stuff on Michigan. That floor seems to be dropping some too. So there's still some deals out there if you want to buy them. But, right, the collections are announced tomorrow. You're going to have a very short time period to sell them before the collections are announced. If these properties aren't a collection, they're going to drop way down in value. Way, way, way down. So, kind of a risky play. But if they are announced as a collection, they might go up. They'll usually go up immediately, then kind of slowly drop back down again. These are big roads, though. So, they probably won't be like a super exclusive or super rare collection. One that is very small is Monroe in downtown. And you can see there's only, what is that, like 15 properties for sale? The cheapest is $650,000. So those people are betting big that that's going to be a collection. If that's not a collection, right? Oof, you could have gotten out. I mean, sold probably for a huge profit. And those are such big risks for me, because you never know what's going to be a collection. All right, and then just jump back here. I did sell my golf course property on the Detroit Golf Club. So I was going to check real quick and see what are prices like there. I sold mine for $70,000, I think. Oh, 60. They're about right there. Okay. Again, I like that neighborhood too. I just always kind of check around these different areas to see if there's good deals that stand out. But now that we're getting really close to the collections, you're really kind of bringing some risk into play if you're trying to find those good deals, and they don't become collections. And overall, too, I still have a few properties that are very cheap ones I minted here. So I was going to see, what's the floor at? 4,800. Okay. So it hasn't moved a ton yet. It was below 4 in the beginning, slowly bumped up here to 48, and it's kind of stuck around there, too. And speaking of that, I know I keep going. I keep seeing, thinking of cool stuff. What's the floor in LA? Ooh, 68. Man, stuff is cheap there. 74.90 below mint. Let's see what you can buy. 68% of mint in Woodland Hills in LA. So if you want to make good gains, Koreatown, look at that, 79.80. A lot of people thought Koreatown would be a collection, bought there, and now that it wasn't a collection, you can see they're selling for less than mint. And I have 2 in Koreatown as well, but I'm selling just barely above mint. I can't sell them. So you are taking on some risk when, is that a East? That's a collection. Look at that. Holy cow. In a collection, 82%. I feel like 1527 North Hobart. See if it pulls up. Oh yeah, we're in Detroit. You can buy in a collection below mint like that? That's crazy. Is this it? No. What is that? 5300 Hobart. What was 1527 North Hobart? So how are we so far off on that? Let me see. Okay, we'll scoot right there. Maybe it's not. Where's this one? So right up here, right, it should be right in here. Let's see. 1646, 1641. So we need to be. So that might be a mistake then, obviously, if we can't find it here for sale. Or maybe it's right here and it just wasn't pulling up. 15. It should be right there. So it's not for sale. Okay. See, sometimes you see that, you're like, oh my God, that's a great deal. Right? Looking for collection under, what's that collection under mint? Hollywood? I mean, it's $2.5 million, so that makes sense, but still. That's kind of a cool way to find deals too, is looking at by markup and then looking for collections. So, okay. All right. So we'll see what the collections hold for tomorrow. Let me know what you're banking on if you're trying to get collections and risking it and gambling, or if you're just trying to sell now quickly. I'm lying. I want to check one thing here. I want to check to see what the price is like on Gradient price, search properties, 25. Okay. So, oh, I have second. See what I'm going to do now. 7230 Gradient. I am going to be a jerk. I'm going to go buy that property because it's pretty cheap. Hopefully it's not one again that's like not really for sale. Oh, let's see here. There it is. 25,000. Let's just buy it. It's pretty cheap. And then I'm going to raise the floor myself. So maybe. So you can see it's 25.9. I've got the next closest one at 29.9. And then some more. So if I buy that and then put it back up a little higher, I can kind of raise the floor myself and I'll have the cheapest property. So hopefully that'll help mine sell. Maybe I'll raise the floor, get some other ones sold. You can use that strategy too. If you really want to get crazy and have tons of upicks, I mean, you could change the value of neighborhoods yourself by just buying the floor and just raising prices. Take some money, take some, might be slightly looked at as like monopolizing the area, but it is something that it's a free market, is legal to do. All right, now we're done. All right, love the comments, love the shares. Keep those coming. I'll start my building here soon in Century City, and we'll see what the collection does tomorrow in Detroit. Are you going to be ready to try and buy some of those collections tomorrow, or are you just going to hang out and chill? Let me know what's going on. All right, we'll be back with many more videos coming up here soon.